Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Thursday, October 11th, 2018, and here are some of today's trends in the news. On the market front, it's a down day everywhere, except gold. Gold's up some $30. So what's going on? Take a look at Asia. Nikkei down over 3. Shanghai down over 5. Hang Seng down over 3%. You add up what just happened with the Shanghai on Monday and today. This week it's down almost 10%. That's in correction territory just this week, but the reality is, as you know, it's in bear territory. UK, across Europe, down. United States, you had the Dow down almost 700 points, closed down 545. NASDAQ briefly went into correction territory today. Oil took a big hit. How come? Well, supplies grew more than expected, but they're looking for a global slowdown. That's what that number says to us. It went down over 2%. Bitcoin's down. As we look at Mr. Cho's charts, Bitcoin got more to go low and is breaking through that point. If Bitcoin was strong, it would have followed gold. Now, you know that I've been saying for how long, when they were talking about why gold should have gone up when an event happened and it didn't. I said it didn't go up because it didn't have anything to do with that. And now you're seeing gold take a very strong bounce like this. That is a warning sign. Gold is now playing its safe haven asset role. Dow tumbles over 500 points, bringing two-day losses to more than 1,300 points. Stocks fell sharply in volatile trading on Tuesday as investors dumped riskier assets in favor of traditional safe havens like bonds. They left out gold. The Dow fell as much as 698.97 points at its low. The indexes bounced after a report said President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi would meet at next month's G20 summit. You know what that is?
Warning, warning, bullshit alert.
They won't stop with the bullshit. Addition to the Fed, this is CNBC, Trump can blame his tariffs for latest market slump. We've been giving you the data of why this market is going down, and the key element has been interest rates. We've been saying that for a year almost. Matter of fact, because of what's going on today, we sent you another trend alert following the one we just sent you. And what does that trend alert read? Financial emergency. As forecast, economic 9/11? You got it. What's causing the sell-off? Virtually ignored for months, median financial experts are finally getting right what we have repeatedly forecast would crash markets and sink economies worldwide. Month after month, week after week, day after day, they keep screaming that trade wars and tariffs would bring down markets. Again, we wrote this before the markets closed today. And what does CNBC come out with? A bunch of BS, while President Trump has directed his ire at the Federal Reserve for the recent stock market decline, he also has himself to blame. But while they were anticipating what would happen, we identified what was happening and its immediate and long-term implications. Rising interest rates. Here you go. In fact, it was one of our top trends for 2018. Market shock, which we sent to you, Trends Journal subscribers, in December. We went on to say in that Global economies, particularly in China, India, Europe, and EMs, will shift significantly downward to bear market territory, and some will sink into recession. And the reason we said, as U.S. interest rates rise and the dollar strengthens, their economies and currencies would go lower. December we said this. And they are such cowards, they will not admit they're wrong, and they're blaming Trump on this. But that's why you subscribe to the Trends Journal. And of course, Trump says the Federal Reserve caused the stock market correction. He went on to say, it's a correction that I think is caused by the Federal Reserve and interest rates. He said the federal monetary policy is far too stringent. He's not happy with it. He also said they're going crazy and they're going loco, and the Fed is going wild. The Fed is going loco, and there's no reason for them to do it. I'm not happy about it. So where does this bring us? You think he'll be able to sway them not to be aggressive in raising interest rates? Because that's the only thing that's powered these markets. Negative zero interest rate policy and quantitative easing, again, stuff they never taught me in Economics 101 at graduate school. They made this crap up. Trump is in the real estate business. He knows that rising interest rates bring down real estate and everything else with it. And the low interest rates have been nothing more than a war against the savers and only to enrich the very rich, and the numbers prove it. Because 95% of the wealth that occurred since the end of the Great Recession in 2009 has gone to the 1%. That's why he's freaking out. Luxury shares feel the pinch. Paris, a mild slowdown at LVMH Moet, the world's biggest luxury good company, sent a shudder across the sector Wednesday, pushing down stock prices amid fears that a pullback by China's big spending shoppers could end a year-long boom for the industry. What's going on in China? The markets have crashed. The Chinese markets have crashed. And what are they doing here? Mnuchin, that guy that's playing Treasury Secretary, warns China over currency devaluation as trade temperatures rise. Nothing to do with trade temperatures. We've been reporting on what China's been doing to push more money into the system as their fixed asset investments are at all-time lows, or since they've been taking data since 1992. The country is in a decline. The currency is going down. As a matter of fact, the onshore renminbi has weakened 10.9% since March to the dollar. That's a big drop. Look around the world. Read your trend alert we just sent out. Look at all of the countries whose equity markets are in bear territory. And they'll blame anybody. You want to see some real stupidity on blame? Today's Financial Times. Athens points to turmoil in Italy as Greek banks slide. Greek central bank governor has blamed Italy's market turmoil for a drop in the share prices of Greek banks, saying that the falls, quote, are not related to their soundness. What a jerk. Central banker of Greece. That's like being a central banker of a candy store. What a stupid moron loser. Look at Greece. And they quote this jerk. Look at the problems they have. Look how they sold out to people. Look how they sold out to the IMF. And how the country keeps going down. And you got little crapsters like that central bankster and his other jerksters with CNBC blaming everybody but the facts. And Trump is 100% correct. He needs that money fix, man. I need that quantitative heroin and negative interest rate opiates to keep me going. That's the only thing that keeps these markets up. U.S. clears CVS's $69 billion Aetna takeover. $69 billion. Cheap money. Hey, wait till those interest rates go up. Oh, yeah. This is what's kept the markets going. Stock buybacks, merger and acquisition activity, and Trump wants to keep it going. And so too in Brazil. Sao Paulo elite welcome prospects of Bolsonaro victory. The prospects of right-wing Congressman Jair Bolsonaro winning the presidency and implementing a liberalizing economic program has kindled hopes among many that the decades of Brazilian status policies are about to be reversed. Yep. Liberalizing economic program, privatizing, letting the banksters go rich. You know what this is?
That was bullshit.
The same bullshit that they heard and spoke about and repeated when that other little Catzon Macri over there in Argentina. Oh, he's going to bring in professionals. He's going to change the game. Oh, it's going to be great for Argentina. Oh, yeah, with your 65% interest rates, with your Argentinian peso declining 50% against the dollar this year. This guy, a militarist. And boy, how he loved that military dictatorship in Brazil. It'll be perfect over there. But of course, they have runoff elections. He's way ahead. We'll see what's going to go on. World Trade Organization head urges action to counter attacks on globalization. How dare you don't want to be globalized? How dare you don't want to be monopolized? How dare you don't want to be multinationalized so the big guys could own more? What a disgrace. And that's what's going on. This is fascism. It's the merger of state and corporate powers. You want to call it globalization? Call it that. It's fascism. Again, multinationals are running everything. $69 billion deal with CVS. They own the world of drugstores in America and Walgreens around the world in many parts. They put out of business all the mom and pops, all the drugstores that used to be family owned. How dare you fight against globalization? You got to be a slave in Slavelandia and work for that multinational plantation. And what else do we have here? CSU fears poll humiliation in Bavarian stronghold. Once dominant party has suffered big loss of popularity since refugee crisis. Oh yeah, the refugee crisis caused by wars. They're beautiful, but we're not going to talk about wars because nobody else is, but of course I will. Rebels pull heavy weapons from zone in Syria. Great news. On 17th anniversary of the U.S. invasion, 54 are killed across Afghanistan. Yep, page A7 last week on October 8th in the New York Times. 17 years in Afghanistan. And why are we there? Because you got a bunch of sick son of a bitches running your country. And other countries too. I named Macron, the other Catzon from France yesterday, Macri today. We got a new one in Brazil. One country after another being run by a freak star. Hundreds killed in heavy fighting in Afghanistan. The United Nations Assistant Mission in Afghanistan from January to September, 2,798 dead, 522 civilians injured. Who cares? Nobody. That's why we're occupying peace. Most Americans would support withdrawal from Afghanistan. A new YouGov poll that was taken out hardly got any coverage at all. Peace is the answer. You know what else peace is the answer to? Not interest rates, not tariffs. Peace is the greatest answer to prosperity. You want the markets to thrive. You want your nation to excel in beauty, joy, liberty, and love. Occupy peace. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's Trends in the News.